Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about Saturday Night, the 2024 movie that takes us back to the origins of one of TV's most iconic TV shows, Saturday Night Live. If you have ever wondered how SNL became the powerhouse it is today, or just in general if you love comedy or pop culture like I do, then I think this film is definitely worth checking out. But before we're going to dive in, let's talk about some fun, interesting and mind-blowing facts about the very first episode of Saturday Night Live. So, the first fact. Did you know that the show that we now know as Saturday Night Live was almost called NBC's Saturday Night? It wasn't until a legal issue with a competing show that the title was changed, but it was a very close call. Fact number 2. The very first host of Saturday Night Live was none other than George Carlin, a legendary stand-up comedian known for his sharp wit and edgy humor, and the very first musical guest for the night was Janice Ian, a folk singer and songwriter known for her song At 17. Fact number 3. This first episode was a wild ride. No one really knew what to expect. There wasn't an elaborate format to fall back on. Most of the sketches were unscripted or improvised, and cast and crew were just figuring out things on the fly. But it's just added to energy and rawness of this very first episode and of the show in general. And the last one, the very first SNL cast, known as the Not Ready for Primetime Players, included some soon-to-be household names such as Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi, Gilda Radner, Chevy Chase, and Garrett Morris. They helped shape the format of this show and comedy in general for years to come. The first episode of Saturday Night Live aired on November 11th, 1975, which was the beginning of what would become a groundbreaking and iconic American TV show created by Lorne Michaels. SNL was designed as a late-night sketch comedy TV show with a unique format that combined musical performances, stand-up comedy, and satirical sketches. It was aimed to target a younger, hyper, fresh audience and brought a very audacious approach to the comedy and to the television in general. The very first show included a mix of sketches, including one of the most famous bits, The Blues Brothers, which starred Aykroyd and Belushi, although it wasn't fully developed in this episode yet. And of course, another very famous bit from the premiere was Weekend Update, which was anchored by Chevy Chase, who became known for his deadpan delivery. While the very first episode was a bit rough, but the live format of the show allowed for spontaneous moments that added to its charm. Of course, the premiere didn't have a huge viewership, but over time SNL gained loyal following and it became a cultural institution. Nowadays, it is regarded as one of the most influential television shows, launching many careers and helping to shape landscape of American comedy. So now let's finally talk about Saturday Night, because that's what we are here for, right? It was directed by Jason Reitman. It's probably one of the best films that I have seen from him, although I must say that I haven't seen a lot, but still some. And I really enjoyed this film. I know that it's probably because I have a soft spot for Saturday Night Live, but just in general, I loved how this film shows the creativity and this, I want to say, like agony behind creating a comedy live TV show. I mean, any show in general. If you have ever been involved in creating something, I mean like a live event maybe, then you probably know what it feels like, and this film definitely shows this moment when everything that you planned to do just doesn't go according to the plan, if you know what I mean. And I really enjoyed that this film showed it in the best possible way. Besides the fact that this film, I think, does an incredible job of capturing that tension, that pure hustle and creativity that went behind creating this show, I really loved the casting. Specifically, I loved Dylan O'Brien as Dan Aykroyd. I really loved Gabriel LaBelle, who played Lorne Michaels himself. We also get to see J.K. Simmons and even Willem Dafoe. And just in general, when I look at the photos of the original cast of Saturday Night Live, and then I look at the pictures of actors from the film Saturday Night, I just can see the resemblance. And I think, yes, like, casting is absolutely impeccable in this film. I even kind of believed that this film was like shot for real in the 70s. But then I see like J.K. Simmons and Willem Dafoe, and I'm like, no, it's definitely not the 70s. Yeah, so just, I really love the casting, and I think that this film is definitely worth watching because of that. I think that the fact that this film gives us those glimpses of chaos, creativity, and innovation that accompanied this very first episode of SNL is enough to want to watch this film. Personally, for me, it was enough, but as I said before, I do have a soft spot for Saturday Night Live. But in general, I think when I hear reviews or see reviews that this film isn't for those who are not fans of Saturday Night Live, I disagree, because I think that what this film does best is showing this process of creating something. It shows that when you put together a group of such talented people, magic can happen. And yes, most of the time, I think creation, or just like creativity in general, is kind of, I want to say, like, dirty. I mean, it's not polished. Like the pure creativity, it's not polished. It's not about that. And it's like giving birth, okay? Yes, I think it's a very strange metaphor. Although no, I mean, yes, it's like giving birth and creating something like a piece of art, a book, I don't know, a movie. Yeah, it's like giving birth. So it's not clean, it's not polished, but that's the beauty of it. And that's why I think this film is worth watching, even if you are not a big fan of SNL. So one more time, I do really encourage you watching this film, even if you are not a very big SNL fan, because I think that this film is worth watching because of how it shows this process of creating something that can potentially, and in case of Saturday Night Live, has changed the landscape of American comedy and American television for good. Let me know if you have already seen it. What do you think about it? Don't forget to subscribe and give a like to this video. I am already thinking and kind of making another one, so hopefully I will see you again very soon. Bye!